Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today we're taking a look at the Perth, the Commonwealth cruiser for the Commonwealth section. It is, however, based on Leander. Now, this is not Leander, I can assure you. There are some significant differences, but it is quite similar. Uh, Now, for our commander, right off the gate, we're using Harold Farncom. Remember, I have to use this for other ships. So Nikolai Kuzkinov and Membeli is our base trait. Burn It Down XXL, Igniter, Light Fortress, Smoke on the Water, and Fully Packed. Now, if I was to build only into this ship, I would definitely probably take Punch Through as well. And so over Light Fortress, that's just me personally. Upgrades, we are using Aiming Systems Mod 1 and Steering Gears Mod 2. Now, there is no propulsion mod because it is a UK-based ship, meaning it should have it built in, but as always, to me, the built-in quote-unquote propulsion mods don't feel built in. They always seem sluggish. So, for that being said, we have the three sonars that go out to 4 kilometers. They're not bad, especially at tier 5. They're usable. Also, you get 3 defensive AAs or 4 catapult fighters. I choose the defensive AA. That's up to you on what you want. And you do have 4 smoke generators on this build because we do have fully packed. These are what I call creeping smokes. So as long as you don't go faster than a quarter speed, you will not be detected. And these, they creep forward with you as long as you're going quarter speed or less. And they also disperse the whole time, basically. So, it moves with you. It's a very interesting smoke, and I've always liked it in the past, and this is no different. Specs 27,000 hit points. It is not a lot, especially when you consider how quickly you can go down to 0 on this ship. I will show you the armor, and I have a clip for you guys. Artillery, again, it's a light cruiser. It can pen, the HE pens 25 millimeters of armor. So you can pen a lot of things, right, with the HE. The HE is not bad, and the fire chance for what it is isn't bad. This is not a DPM monster, and the AP is also not terrible when you get the opportunity to use it. It does not have the short fuse AP like the other light cruisers for the UK, but it is solid nonetheless. Torpedoes, you have 4 of them, or 4 on each side. They are actually kind of handy, believe it or not. I haven't got to use them a ton, but they do have their moments when somebody's charging you where they do come in handy. AA defense, it's not ideal. Um, haven't hasn't been really a huge issue yet in this ship, but again, it's not a lot. It's not, but it's also not like the Arkansas where there's nothing on it. So for maneuverability, 32 knots, speed at 60 or 640 turning circles, so not amazing. Everything's pretty average on this. I do feel like it is relatively agile. It just doesn't stop and start very quick for me. And detectability is not good for a cruiser at this tier, this 10-8. Even though it's not the worst by any means, but I feel like it could have been much better and that would have helped it out. So, stats, as you can see in this thing, 75% win rate, only 4 matches, 60,000 damage. I've actually had really good games in this. When we showcase the armor here, I'm going to show you literally the one game that I lost. I got depth struck instantly. But outside of that, it's been really, really a good ship for me. Outside of that one match where I had nothing, you can see my average. You take that one game out, I'm averaging, 75,000 a game in it. And it's a good ship. And like I said, not a DPM monster, but when you get a feel for it, it's not bad. All right, so armor. This is a rough thing, right? It's definitely better than Leander. Leander's got the 13 millimeter, meaning everything heavy cruiser and up overmatches you. But on this, we have 16, which means you're good against cruisers that aren't Cheshire or above, right? So normal heavy cruisers, you're fine, and you can angle to. But this is still what I call a open citadel, and why is that? Because at 16 millimeters of bow and stern and your side plating, basically this thing is a walking citadel for everybody that is in a battleship, right? Or Cheshire or Graf's B. They anything that hits you, right? That overmatches your armor, which is, let's say, we'll take all of the armor off, right? This is what you are. You are just a floating citadel. However, this citadel is a very small, but I can assure you when it gets hit,
Smoke generator activated.
that you die very quickly. Okay? And I was only spotted there for 1 second. Like it is in, out, and when you get hit in this thing, in the Citadel, it doesn't seem like it gets overpenned. It's just like you're done. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player. Not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. With that out of the way, guys, I am super excited to showcase this match for you. I absolutely love when I get a awesome match to showcase for a ship, and this is going to showcase the ship very well, right? You already seen he gets, if you get touched by a battleship, you know, and you get sent home really quick. But this match is going to be a great one to showcase this ship. Is it going to be the most damage? No, and it's not even the most damage I got in this thing, even in the 4 battles. But I know, you know, it's similar to Leander, so I kind of had a feeling of what to expect with it. Now, the guns are very different than Leander. However, that doesn't mean you can't use AP on this ship. I see a lot of people not using AP, and the AP is just fine on this ship and is very underrated. Like I said, not a DPM monster, but it is. Also, your armor is going to be much different when just that 3 millimeters difference on your bow and stern is going to make you so much tankier against heavy cruisers. For example, we're going to go up against a bunch of cruisers in this match. And our destroyer spotting, we're slowing down to go ahead and try to get into our smoke. This is the creeping smoke, so we can move a little bit and be okay. Our destroyer gets spotted, smokes up, and then shoots the cruiser. He might be a new player, but probably not the right move there. And we get some shells on the destroyer over there. We get a couple hits on him. And we're trying to take out the destroyer. As always, you definitely want to. Now, Pensacola goes a little bit broadside here. We're going to try to get our shells off on him. He is angled a little bit. You can see the Leander in front of us as we do get a Citadel. And we actually get 4 overpens on a Pensacola. So this AP is good. Now we're going to shoot the Emerald, right? We have... you know, we had the first shot was AP, he was angled. We still did pretty well, right? We had a couple good shells. The last one we didn't have as much luck. Leander's now gone. Farragut is spotted, and apparently we were the only one to shoot him. We're going to go ahead and try to get rid of the destroyer. That is always your biggest priority in a destroyer. And then we have a buddy decide he wants to be in the smoke too. As you can see, we get a huge chunk on that destroyer there. Again, we're trying to shoot the destroyer. Also, I'm going to move forward a little bit, and you can see the one thing about these shells at range, they can be a little bit harder, and you're going to see this on the DeGrasse. We're definitely going to struggle a little bit with aiming, right? But Agano pops out broadside. We have AP loaded. And you're going to see here, even on that shot, is we're going to go ahead and try to sneak up on this destroyer. We get a Citadel on Agano. So 2 different cruisers, and we get a Citadel on both of them, right? Now, this Pensacola is coming back because apparently he is not care for staying alive in this match. Pensacola, one of my favorite cruisers, but this guy is going to be gone pretty quickly in this match here. I think he maybe thought because there wasn't a ton of battleships he could be aggressive. But you can see in this match, when you're up against cruisers, you can be more aggressive than you can in Leander because you don't have to worry about getting overmatched. Right? You can bounce heavy cruiser shells as long as they're not Cheshire Grass B type guns, you know. Again, Pensacola, we're going to go ahead and work on finishing them off. I thought teammates were going to finish him off by that point. So you can see we do, in fact, get him down. So you can see we've been switching between HE and AP. Now, one thing I will say, these guns at range, really tough, right? This is not something you're going to be at the very back of the map. You know, you don't have the most range. It's not bad range, but you have the most range in, you know, aiming these shells can be very difficult. So you see, we are getting the A cap here. We're going to push in because, again, I like trying to get rid of destroyers, right? So we're going to try to get rid of that Farragut. We've done most of the health to him, but we can't get the little bit here at the end. And you can see we almost finished him off there. He has a little bit of a sliver, and DeGrasse is, in fact, avoiding our shells very well. Like, you know, we haven't hit him very well because these things are quite lofty. Now we're going to push up because and try to hold this line here because we're having a rough go on the other side. You can see our B side needs help. We're just being careful on DeGrasse here, and we're trying to get ourselves in a position to help. You can see we do have a smoke back again now if we do need it, but we're really not getting fired at, and that battleship is more paying attention to our other battleship. But you're going to see here, we're going to take a turn, start to move in, and we're going to worry about the B cap because you see the destroyers in the B cap. Now we got to make sure we win this fight, and we got to be careful now because before we could do whatever we wanted. We could be kind of okay if, you know, there wasn't a battleship over there, kind of showing how aggressive you could be. Now this is going to be a little bit better. We're going to take some shots at Anzoff here, Anson, and we're going to try to be careful now. We're going to watch everything this Congo does. Like if he starts shooting at us, we got to be careful, and we're going to go ahead and smoke up as the Farragut gets finished off, and we're going to go ahead and just start lighting up Congo now. One thing when you're shooting at battleships with this HE, don't aim at the waterline, right? I should say that in every cruiser video, but you always want to aim up off of the waterline a little bit as we do get a fire on the Congo, which you can see he put out instantly. So, to our destroyer's credit, this is, I believe, the T-61. He recognizes, too, that this site is in kind of a bad shape. He's running in to try to help get the cap. He does spot the Anson, and again, we're going to try to get rid of the destroyer first when we can, and I'm just keeping an eye on Congo and seeing what Congo's doing. Because, you know, even a blind fire shot can be real bad for this ship, right, if it hits the right spot. Now, it can be tough to hit the Citadel, but when you do, it is bad. But again, we are helping to take out the destroyer. We get unlucky there with no shells, and we're going to just continue to fire at the Congo, right? We're just trying to, if they get both these caps, we're in a bad spot. Anson gets spotted again as I'm trying to back up as the Congo is pushing forward. I'm trying to keep an island between me and the Congo. And our destroyer is getting into a little bit of a rough spot here, so we're going to back up. We're trying to figure out a way to get to the Anson without being really in a rough position, but he does go smoke up. And at least our destroyer got him to back up. And this ship, guys, I really like. If you play in a division, this is I think, a lot of fun. Is it the biggest DPM monster? No. But here you can see Rama is coming out to fight as well. We're trying to get a cap reset on him and the Congo. Now, this is where you got to be real careful here, right? As you can see, Ramat's decided to shoot at me. Now he's going to actually, you can see he's starting to turn out. We do not get a good shot on him. I thought he was going to turn in. He did not until later. So we're going to hide behind this island to try to not get spotted. And we do get a fire on him. So we're checking our torps, but this ship doesn't have the best torp angles. We switched AP because he's giving up his broadside again. So this is going to be the third cruiser that goes broadside to us. And again, we're going to be able to Citadel him. Right, and we're backing up because we know we got to be careful as we get 2 Citadels on that ship, and Anson is spotted, but our destroyer does get him down. But you can see now, I think Anson probably has no health from when we got the 2 Citadels on him. So you can see we Citadeled 3 different cruisers, and the AP is just fine on this ship. I think it's the most underrated thing about the ship. As we're going to go ahead, try to make ourselves a small target, right? If a battleship completely overmatches you everywhere, right, there is no reason to try to angle to them. So we're trying to just make our ship really small and hard to hit, right? Give them the least amount we can, and then Rama gets himself spotted, so we're going to try to go ahead and finish him off. We assume he's probably going to move, but our destroyer actually almost gets him. And we are going to have our smoke really, our smoke is almost coming back. So we just got to survive just a little bit. And you can see I'm going to point myself right at him to make myself a harder target to hit. When you're overmatched, trying to angle when your armor doesn't mean anything is not a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and hit our smoke. And then also here you're going to see once we get another fire on him, we're going to start to really burn this guy down. We check our fire detection, which is 4-6, so you can get people really close to you. We're going to throw out our torps, and we get our high caliber, and we're going to get a couple fires here at the very end. There's another one, so we got 3 fires going on this guy, so we're going to definitely get him in a second, but somebody's torp gets him. Anyway, but you guys, a really good showcase of the ship, in my opinion, showing AP, HE. You can play more aggressive against cruisers, but you got to be cautious against battleships, right? Having a 2300 XP game, high caliber, obviously helping our team win. You guys have a wonderful day. I will see you folks next time.